Hey guys, we are going to do a little bit of math together just to review some things. This is for the kids who are the Monday and Wednesday students because Monday we don't have school. So that means this is your online lesson when you're at home on Tuesday, okay? We're going to review a couple of things to make sure that we are ready at the end of the week to take our chapter 1 test on place value. So the first thing that I want to make sure everyone understands is whole numbers. So remember how I said that whole numbers are anything to the left of the decimal point? So any number, including your age, so if you're 11, that's a whole number. Okay, Mrs. Leggett's age is 40. That's a whole number. Now, if I added a decimal point here, it still is 11, and that's still 40. I could add as many zeros behind this as I want to. This is still 11, and this is still 40. The zeros don't add any value to it, and I still have 40 as my whole number here. There's a 0 in the ones place and a 4 in the tens place. And for the number 11, there is a 1 in the ones place and a 1 in the tens place. But these place values here, remember the first one is tenths. Don't forget the TH. Hundredths, TH. Thousandths, TH. If they're all 0, there's no value there. So that is the same thing as if I just wrote 11 or 40. Does that make sense? Think about it like when you see them as dollars. If you see the price of something at Target and it's $11, that's how it would be written as a dollar. That's just $11, right? No pennies, no dimes, no nickels, nothing. Obviously, if we added some numbers here, if I added 59, that means whatever you bought, your doll or your car or your Pokemon cards cost $11, and now there's 59 cents because we have a 5 in the tenths place and a 9 in the hundredths place. If we were to write it as a fraction, 59 hundredths is the same thing as if we write 59 over 100. And that makes sense because the 59 is in the 9 is in the hundredths place, right? Okay, so moving on. Now, the first day I did the live stream, I was super duper flustered. I want to make sure everybody understands what standard form is, what expanded form is, and word form, okay? Everyone should have this in their math notebook, and I will do a math notebook check. You automatically get points if you have it written in there. So if you don't, you're going to write it in your math notebook now if you have it with you, okay? So standard form is any number written with numbers or numerals, I guess could be the other word you could say. So like we wrote down the number 11, that's standard form. That's 11 written in numbers, in numerals. 40 is just 40. That is standard form. So in your math notebook, write standard form and put any number behind that, okay? Any number you want. Okay, now let's do word form. Obviously, if you have this is standard form, 11. Word form is just the written version with letters. So standard form is with numbers. Word form is with letters, 11. Okay, like the girl in Stranger Things. So write down in your math notebook, this is word form. Now the last one is expanded form, and I want to explain it again because we had a whole lesson on it, lesson 6. It was when I was sick though, and I didn't explain it well the first time. So if you are not quite understanding it, just make sure you pay attention and so that you understand the concept, okay? So expanded form means you're taking each place value and you are expressing it in number form, but you have to write out each separate place value. So let's say we have, let's see what is in the homework book. Okay, well, let's just say we have the number 11 again. We have 11, okay? Here's our decimal point, so this is our whole number. 11.36, or 11 and 36 hundredths, or with a 3 in the tenths place and a 6 in the hundredths place. Now to write those, we're going to write each separate number in the place value that it's in, okay? So we will start with, hang on, 11. Now here's our first place value number. It's a 1. What place value is this? Well, it's tens. So we're going to go like this. We have a 1 in the tens place. So 1 times 10, because we're in the tens. Okay, that's this number. 1 times 10 is 1. Now let's look at the next one. And we're going to add, now we're going to add this one to what we put here. So we're going to put a plus. Now, the next number we have is also a 1, but this is in what place? It's in the ones place. So now we're going to write 1, and that one is in the ones place, so we're going to write times 1. So far we have 1 times 10, which is 10. We're going to add to that 1 times 1, which is 1. So 10 plus 1 is 11. Now we've got to add each individual place value for the 36 hundredths. So we've run out of room here, so I'm going to add a plus right here, but we're going to continue it down here. How do we express hundredths and tenths? Well, so here's our 3. So first we write 3 like we normally would. Now when we're doing tenths, hundredths, and thousandths, we're going to put it in parentheses. So we're going to start the 3 in the parentheses. Now what place value is that 3 in? It's in the tenths. So we're going to times it, and instead of timesing by 10, because that's the tens place, this is tenths. We have to express it like a fraction. So this would be like 3/10. So this is how we write tenths. 1 over 10. So this number is 3 times 1 over 10, which is the same thing as 3/10. But that's how we write it in expanded form. Then close your parentheses. We have one more number right here. It's the 6, okay? We need to add that one now. Now, remember I said if you have tenths, hundredths, or thousandths, you start it in parentheses. So here's my parentheses. The number we're doing now is 6. Put my 6 there. What place value is that 6 in? It's in the hundredths, TH. So to do hundredths, we're going to times it by 1 over 100. That's the same thing as 6 hundredths. Okay, we don't have any numbers left, so we've written the whole thing in expanded form now. 1 times 10 plus 1 times 1 plus 3 times 1/10 plus 6 times 1 100th. When we write this out in word form, always remember the only and that you're putting when you're writing it out is in place of that decimal point. If there's no decimal, you don't write and, okay? Only if there's a decimal. So if you have the number 3,612.26, if I were to say that, instead of the point, I could say the word and. I could say 3,612 and 26 hundredths. So to write that out, that's going to take me a minute. Don't be lazy about it. No big deal. We've got 3,600. Don't put and. Don't put 612. Remember what I said. You only put the and for the decimal. 3,612. Now you put your and, because now we're at the decimal. And decimal. 26 hundredths. 26. Now, hundredths, don't write hundreds on accident. That decimal place is hundredths with a TH on the end like that. You just literally write down 100, add a TH. And there you go. That would be that number in word form. Okay, if that kind of makes sense, the next video that we will watch or you will be in class for, I'm going to do a review video, and in our math book we will take the review test, and then on Thursday and Friday we'll take the chapter test. I think you guys are ready. You're killing it. Okay, so that means there's no book work that goes along with this lesson, but here's your assignment. I do want you to write a number, a place value line in your math notebook. So when I say place value, this is what I'm talking about, one of these things. I want you to write one of these in your notebook, and you can fill in the numbers, whatever numbers you want. You don't have to do 12,498,750. Pick your own number, but I want you to do the decimal point and do some numbers to the right of that for the tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. So that's your only assignment. Now, if you don't have your math notebook at home with you, how could you do that? You can still write it, that number line, on a piece of paper, and then when you get to school, you can glue it into your math notebook if you don't have it with you. Okay? So I will see you in class on Wednesday. Bye, guys.